Lee Gentile, Barbara Kishka, Katie Knudsen, Sheila Lowe's, Sean O'Neill, Kristen Savage.
You could rise for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Kat, would you mind reading the names of the Budget Committee members that are here? They were invited to participate in this meeting.
Catherine Kinsella, Sue Sherman, Mark Sherwood, Marissa Brown, Todd McCormick, Julian Kishka, and Christy O'Clair.
And I think Julie Hammond just arrived from Atkinson, correct? Okay, thank you very much. The purpose of this special meeting is to essentially call a special meeting because the board recently learned that the New Hampshire legislative amended the adequacy laws over the summer, and this has increased the district's adequacy aid by approximately, I have the value here, $991,000 and some change. And so we've been informed by both the Department of Education and the Department of Revenue Administration that we need to hold a special meeting of the legislative body in order to appropriate that money. So I'll ask Superintendent Cochran to speak to that issue, but just for those that are unaware, a special meeting of the legislative body, should we approve this, will require a public hearing, which we will schedule for next week before the school board meeting, and it will require a meeting of the legislative body, which is the voters, and we would plan that for the 21st of October. This all needs to be completed by the end of October in order for this determination to be made as to how this will affect the setting of the tax rates. So, Dr. Cochran?
So, the board can't spend the money without holding a special meeting, as mentioned, to appropriate the funds. Administration is recommending to the board to work on some significant projects that we're looking at that will have to be completed over the next few years. That would include significant deferred maintenance, window and roof replacements, bathroom renovations, paving work, boilers, HVAC system work that needs to be completed. The additional adequacy funding, along with the ESSER grant funds we're receiving from the federal government, will allow us to begin working on these projects immediately. The board and the administration will be working in the coming weeks to develop a plan to allocate these funds. In the meantime, we've been advised to begin the process of holding a special meeting prior to the setting of the tax rate in early November in order to receive the additional adequacy funding from the state. So it's that simple.
Okay, so what I'm going to need from the board is a motion to authorize a special meeting, and then we can open this up for discussion among the board. So if somebody would like to make the motion.
Yep, I move to call a special meeting of the legislative body of the Timberland School District pursuant to RSA 197:3-A on October 21st, 2021, for the purpose of appropriating additional adequacy funding from the state, and to elect to deliberate and vote in a single session during that special meeting in accordance to RSA 197:3-A, comma 1, I.
Okay, there's a motion. Steve, are you seconding that motion?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Is there discussion? Sean?
Yeah, I have a question in regards to, we're all Senate Bill 2 towns, so is this, how are we going to do this in one session? This is what, a deliberative and we're done? Equivalent?
This will combine the deliberative and the vote at one session, and that is allowed at a special meeting of the legislative body. So what will happen, the public hearing will happen on the 7th, and then the deliberation and the vote will happen on the 21st. They're still working out the logistics of that. That may have something like a ballot box that needs to be put in front so that voters can vote that way. Mm-hmm. Attorney O'Shaughnessy is working with a moderator and the school board clerk, and he'll also have to work with the supervisors of the checklist, because voters will have to be registered to do this. So there will be some costs associated with this.
So they're still figuring out how to distribute the ballots. It'll be a printed ballot.
Yes, I'm not sure, he was looking into how that would have to happen, if it's gonna be a printed ballot, or, I mean, there's only one question on the ballot, which will be to approve that particular warrant, and I don't know if it's gonna be printed or if it will just be a hand count, if it can be, because remember, somebody can call for a written ballot, if you were on the board several years ago, remember? So that may happen, but I think we can do it by a show of hands, but if somebody makes the decision to call for a secret ballot, then we have to be prepared for that also.
We'd also have to be prepared for amendments to that warrant article as well.
We would have to be prepared for that, you're correct, yeah? There could be,
Having it pre-printed is pretty much, most likely could end up not paying.
I'm not saying that we would pre-print the warrant article, we would just pre-print the ballot with a yes or no, not the actual warrant article on the ballot.
Okay, no, I would agree with that, that's fine.
And we'll have counsel there to help us figure out whether or not any amendments are valid.
Yes, we'll have to plan to have council on the 21st. I don't anticipate having council on the 7th, but I would anticipate having council on the 21st.
So I'm sorry, I'm still not clear on this. So are the counts going to be in each separate town, or is it going to be here and we're just going to hand out ballots and count them all here?
It will be here.
Okay,
It won't be set out to the towns, no.
okay.
It will be in the gymnasium as well?
Excuse me?
Be in the gymnasium where we hold a bit of.
I don't know, we haven't gotten that far on where we're going to hold that 21st meeting. We probably need to do it in the, probably need to, just because of the size of the crowd, perhaps. Sheila?
Where did this come from?
What do you mean, where did it come from?
Well, it's like all of a sudden there's $1 million.
Okay, so,
Just,
go ahead, Dr. Cochran, if you want to speak to it. Or I can
Brady,
speak
do
to
you
it
want
one
to
time. Want me to, you want me to?
So where it came from,
They'll turn it on, Marie.
it actually comes from the state, it's part of our adequacy aid. And what happened is the Department of Education in the summer, they changed the formula that they use to calculate our adequacy aid. They changed it 2 times. And they sent 3 messages about it. So at the beginning, the first 2 times that they sent it, they actually reduced our adequacy aid. And then on the 3rd time, which was sent on August 28th, they increased it, because what they did is they used the free and reduced numbers from 2019, because in 2020 and 2021, not many families applied for the free and reduced, which is what they used to give us the adequacy aid. So all the schools were getting less and less aid, so they decided to change the formula.
it all fell from the sky. I was just kind of curious where it came from.
And because it was done after the voters voted on the budget, committee's budget, we now have to ask the voters if it is okay to accept this money and what our purpose will be for this money.
In meetings with the superintendent and when we were dealing with the commissioner, this was brought up at the start and basically said, they were questioned about the funding differential if we went by our original, 1920 allocation, or enrollment rather, instead of 2021, with 2021 being allowed because a lot of the more students went homeschooled and so on. So we were told that this was a possibility, but quite honestly, we were not sure until very recently that it was going to come to fruition. And so we came forward with what was originally passed. Because the legislature actually changed the adequacy law to allow this, that's how the money was able to be released. They voted on it in the summer.
So we can't be the only board or the only district doing this now, correct?
Virtually everybody in the state.
Okay.
Is there any other discussion on the motion? Sorry, anybody on the budget committee on that motion? To call for a special meeting? So I'm looking for a vote on the motion to call a special meeting of the legislative body pursuant to RSA 197:3 on October 21st, 2021 for the purpose of appropriating additional adequacy funding from the state and to elect to deliberate and vote in a single session during that special meeting. All in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-0. Okay. So the next thing that the board needs to discuss is the fact that we will need to be posting a warrant article for the public hearing. And this will have to be done relatively soon. There are two, what the attorney has recommended along with our CFO is that we post a non-lapsing warrant article. And I'm just going to read this article, and then we can have a discussion on it. I don't think it requires a vote of the board, but we need to have a warrant article to post. So the article should be, the title is The Additional State Adequacy, Non-Lapsing Appropriation. Shall the voters of the Timberlane Regional School District vote to appropriate the sum $991,392.94 for the purpose of buildings and grounds maintenance and improvements. Said funds available due to statutory changes resulting in an increase in state adequacy payments pursuant to RSA 198:41. This special warrant article will be a non-lapsing appropriation per RSA 32:7, paragraph 6, and will not lapse until the buildings and grounds maintenance and improvements projects are complete or by July 1, 2024, whichever is sooner. And then in parentheses, majority vote required. So in a more plain English, basically, this is asking the voters to allow the district to take that appropriation, and it gives us the authority to use it up through 2024, so we're not having to make a relatively rash decision on what we're going to use it for, and/or the problem that we're seeing right now, and probably most people know this, is that you can't get equipment, and even if you can get equipment, you can't get it installed. So, speaking with Maria and council and the superintendent, we feel that this non-lapsing warrant article will give us some time to adequately spend this money without it hitting the end of the fiscal year and then going into the unreserved fund balance. So I'll open up the floor for discussion. We don't need to vote. I don't think we need to vote on this, but we do need to have the warrants presented. The other alternative would just be to let it be allowed by the voters for a year, and then if we didn't use it, it would go back into the unreserved fund balance. Discussion? Everybody okay with that? Okay, so that is, Barbara?
It's just during the special meeting, we'll have a chance to do the plain English version so everybody knows what they're voting on, right?
Well, yes, we'll have a public hearing next week before the school board meeting. The warrant needs to be posted 7 days in advance, so this will be posted. This is why we're meeting today. This needs to be posted by Thursday in order to be ready for the public hearing, and all the notices need to go out by Thursday.
Okay.
Steve?
For the state, do we have to identify specifically what projects that we're going to do, or is it just sort of generalized around?
No, Maria, I think, took the initiative already and has run this up along with Attorney Shaughnessy through the Department of Revenue Administration, our point of contact, who knows, Jamie Dow. And she said this warrant article would meet the requirements from DRA.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? Any budget committee members? Thank you for attending. Sean?
I would like to actually recommend to this board that we utilize what has just happened right here. We have a special election right now. We're going to have the voters in front of us within a couple of weeks to decide on something. I think it would be nice to reach an olive branch across the aisle and actually, instead of the 9 members on here deciding what the fate is for our mask mandate policy, that we actually put this in a warrant article and ask the voters to vote on it. That's my recommendation. And I'm going to make a motion. And the title of it is the School Board Support of Mask Mandates Decision. To see if the voters of the district support the school board's decision to implement a mask mandate within the Timberlane Regional School District. That's my motion.
Say that again, please.
The title of the warrant article would be School Board's Support of Mask Mandate Decision. To see if the voters of the district support the school board's decision to implement a mask mandate within the Timberlane Regional School District.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Barbara seconds for discussion.
My first point is, we don't have a mask mandate, we have a mask matrix, so the masks are not necessary once the rate of transmission goes down, so
You can implement it. It's basically, it's this board's decision. Look at it as a ratification of this school board's decision. This is the most controversial decision at this board, and it is very polarizing. We keep on thinking, you know, for members on here, you know, my people, our people, we keep on inferring what they mean and what they desire. You know what? We have the perfect opportunity, and it's free, folks. Free. It's just a paper and a warrant article to see where we stand. You know what? If you think that the school board made the right decision, why not? You're going to be ratified and show it. Will it show that it supports that? We're going to find out if we move this forward. If not, I would think that it's going to also resonate with the voters as well. It's a perfect opportunity to reach that olive branch across the aisle. And I think it would be goodwill for the voters on both sides of the aisle, because we're trying to ask them and ascertain what they truly want, not what the 9 people up here decide is the best.
Brian?
Sean, could you reread that motion that you won?
Okay, the title of it is School Board Support of the Mask Mandate Decision. To see if the voters of the district support the school board's decision to implement a mask mandate within the Timberlane Regional School District.
So what does that accomplish, though? So whether it's a yes or no, what does that do for us?
It tells us where the voters' pulse is on this issue versus us trying to infer that.
Okay, but even if they say no, that still doesn't lift it, though. That's what I'm confused. I didn't know what you're. I guess I'm questioning. Me, I'm no secret. I'm a mask optional kind of guy, but I don't see what that's doing. I don't see what you're doing there.
It's to ask the voters, I mean, where they stand on this policy. If they think that the school board made an appropriate decision with a mask mandate policy, so then they would support it.
So
If they don't think that we supported it because they believe in personal choice, they would vote no.
Okay, so, all right, so if they vote no, so that nothing still happens, though.
It's a data point.
Okay.
And does this board want to see that data point? That's the real question here. We all think that we know what they mean.
Yeah, I'm in favor of that, but I don't really sure what it does outside of that, but okay.
Barbara?
I do think that it might be a bit skewed because everything has to be in person for this meeting, right? There's no absentee voting for this meeting. So the people who have to stay out for health reasons would not be able to vote.
Yeah, I couldn't answer that question for you. I mean, I would think you'd have to make some provisions, but I don't know. Sheila? All in favor? 3. All opposed? Motion fails. Anything else for discussion? Okay, if not, I'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everybody. 7:21.